The title says it all. I remember Seraph of the End. So this series is about a guy whose family is killed by vampires.
I'm a vampire! I'm a vampire! I'm a vampire!
Who had taken over the world, and now he wants revenge by destroying them with a team of other characters. What do you think, Aaron? In all seriousness, I think Seraph of the End and Attack on Titan are just kind of mediocre to me. They kind of both have the same strengths and weaknesses, and I think Seraph does some aspects of the story and production better, but not by much. I kind of get the appeal of both because I loved Attack on Titan when it was first released in 2012. I was a teenager at the time, and it was a classic power fantasy about a young guy trying to save the world, but since then it's gone stale for me. I know there was a huge gap between seasons, but I think my tastes have changed and been refined. I started to re-evaluate Attack on Titan alongside Seraph of the End, and I have some problems. Let's start with Eren and Yu, who are the angry main characters who want revenge. As we all know, being angry instantly makes a good character. Right now, Fume?
Unfortunately, it's overshadowed by all this unyielding rage!
I know that the arc of these characters is that they start off wanting revenge, but slowly soften when surrounded by teammates, but I just don't find that a compelling story. Maybe it's because they are all about revenge, and as Camelot put it, revenge, the most worthless of causes. In terms of main character archetypes, the angry revenge-driven are one of my least favourites, because I don't feel invested in their struggles if all they do is shout and look pissed off at first. I will say that Yu does have something more than Eren with his relationship with Mika, who was his friend turned vampire.
That coffin's not going to open itself.
Kind of a default arc in both dealing with being a vampire while trying to reunite with Yu. It writes itself honestly, and it works for me, though it could have used more screen time. My favourite game is generic supporting character bingo, such as the best friend, the main girl, and the commander. You can make character archetypes work. Look at Full Metal Alchemist, but these two series didn't really do that. I will also say that the vampires are better antagonists than the Titans. They actually have characters instead of just being horrifying monsters. The series takes a more action approach than horror in terms of the vampires, except for some of the imagery. They sort of fit into the Dracula template, such as drinking blood, with some changes such as being able to stand in sunlight.
You're fired!
Look at the 2020 adaptation of Dracula by the BBC that told the story right up to dragging the character into the modern day. This isn't just talking about good old Dracula. Vampires have become like ninjas where you just have to say that they are the thing and just are now. It's the nature of adaptation with how some writers will take vampires in a direction that will service the story that they are telling. The vampires in Seraph of the End work for me since they function well as antagonists while still having something more to them in terms of personalities. Both series were even produced by the same studio. Good old studio wit, because production values equals a good show. Controversially, I actually prefer the world of Seraph of the End over Attack on Titan. The gothic design of the vampire world and the destroyed remains of human civilization. It paints a better picture than just a countryside with some walled cities. It feeds into the idea of the vampires feeling like a real threat to the whole world that our heroes have to defeat. Plus, the green military uniforms in Seraph are way better designed than the mud brown of Attack on Titan due to there being better colours in both black and green. Unique colours work for me. The action is fine, though I will give Seraph points for unique weapons for the characters versus Attack on Titan where everyone used the same equipment. The individual specific weapons add character to the wielder beyond just the dialogue, which is why I champion them over mass-produced ones. So I like Seraph of the End slightly more than Attack on Titan. Not to say that I love it, but it's just fine. I think the problem with these types of stories is that unlike the isekai genre, there hasn't been much innovation or experimentation. They pretty much tell similar stories and it gets tired after a while. If you want a really good Attack on Titan-like series, go watch Cabanera of the Iron Fortress.
Sorry.
If you like this video, please give it a like, subscribe and hit that notification button for more content from yours truly. Also follow me on Twitter through the link in the description. Cheers for watching.